Here we go. 2, 3, 4.
Look at this glorious morning. Why ask for anything more? I follow where my heart leads. Walk through this open door. I've always been a seeker. Felt I was alone. Now in this room full of smiling faces, I know I found my home. This is where joy lives. This is where love is. This is a place where I am strong. This is where eyes meet, where kindred hearts beat. I am right where I belong. Oh, 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 oh. Here in this place I'm accepted. I'm welcome just as I am. I'm ready to be inspired, to reach out a helping hand. This is a new beginning. I trust in the mystery. Now when my heart is open, there's no place I'd rather be. This is where joy lives. This is where love is. This is the place where I am strong. This is where eyes Oh, black and white together now. Black and white together now. Black and white together now. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. We shall overcome someday.
Yep. Good morning. Now we're going to break into something raucous. Please help us sing Witness.
This day is a witness to my sacred purpose, to
Thank you. I love that song. Good morning. I love the fact that you're all here, and if you're watching online, I love the fact that you're watching online. That's pretty cool. I have a question for you. As a matter of fact, I'm even going to ask you to go ahead and close your eyes. If you're watching online, close your eyes, even though I'll go away. I'm going to ask you two questions. Why did you come here the very first time? You know, what is it that led you? I mean, was it a friend that recommended it to you? What was it that made you come the very first time? And then here's the second question. Why do you keep coming? Yeah. I mean, what is it that you're getting? What keeps you coming here? Okay, go ahead and open up your eyes. And I've asked Geraldine if she'd light our candle for us. And I really enjoy it when she lights the candle because it's sort of the real beginning of the service, isn't it? You know, and it's this nice reminder that that flame is burning up there. And as we look at that flame burning, it's kind of like, oh, yeah. I keep coming back to that flame that represents the Spirit of God, that flame that represents the truth in every situation I find myself in. And so as you think about those questions today, why you came the very first time that you came, and why you keep coming, every so often, glance up there at the flame and just study it and almost let it take you into a little bit of a meditation. Because I think those are just two essential questions. It's all part of our journey, isn't it? So, I'll mention that we have the prayer box right here. And I invite you to put any of your prayer requests in here for yourself or someone else, for a situation in the world. And I pray over it for a week and then send it back to Silent Unity, and there it's prayed over for a month. And right outside the door, as many of you know, there's two more containers for prayer requests. Let's take a moment in an opening prayer. And let's just breathe, first of all. And let's just center ourselves right here. And we all have so many things going on in our lives. Let's just leave them alone for the next hour. And instead, for that next hour, let's just be here, willing to hear. So, Spirit of God, we talk to you, we whisper to you, we lean in. And as we lean in, we strive to hear messages from you. What am I here to learn? What's my pathway? Why did this not work out, and why did this work out? Spirit of God, you are here to lead me. You're here to lead me in ways I seek to understand. So bless my life and open my eyes. Open my mind to receive. And so it is, God. So it is. Amen.
Please join us in Open Your Heart. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You're so much more than you do. Find a way
thank you. I love that song. That's good. Hi, I'm Tammy Savage, and I'm the celebration assistant for today. We love that you are here on this wonderful Sunday by divine appointment. Welcome to Unity Center of Spiritual Growth, where all people who wish to worship here are welcome. We strive to live love and uplift lives. We are an inclusive and affirming church. We bless people of all races, sexual orientations, colors, political beliefs, or anything else they or you may have been judged on in the past. We simply welcome everyone who wants to pursue their spiritual path. Let me introduce our musicians for today. They are Laura, Patty, Gwen, Paul, Dagan. In the back we have Jim, Todd, and Brian. And I forgot Jim. I'm sorry. I saw Jim and went boop, right to Jim. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Thank you for doing that for us. And we want to thank everybody who makes this Sunday service happen. It can't be done by just a few people. It takes a lot of volunteers for a Sunday service. Thank you very much. If we have anybody here for the first time, we want to thank you for being here. We are glad to have you join us, and we hope you have a great time. We have a welcome packet for you and a book, which everybody got. If you would raise your hand, one of the greeters will bring it by for you. And also we want to welcome you folks who are visiting us for the first time on the live stream. You can let us know you're here by clicking the Connect With Us tab on the website. You can submit your contact information, a prayer request, or a request for information by clicking on the Connect With Us link. It's available on the Synopsis tab in the website streaming window, and that goes for any of you old folks who we've seen a long time. If you have a change in your address or want to submit a prayer request, you can always do that online by clicking that Connect With Us button. Hopefully you saw all the announcements describing the upcoming events on the screen before the service. If not, they're listed in your program and on the website. Please join us and get involved. It's a great way to get to know these wonderful people. Let me draw attention to a few announcements, however. The first one I'm going to start with is a joyous and a sad announcement. For those of you who have been going to church here for a long while, Sigrid Farwell, she got married again, but Sigrid Farwell passed away. Really, she was such a very special woman. She served as our youth director for a very long time. She was very artistic and loved the arts and drama. And I can't believe you asked that question today, Dennis, because Sigrid Farwell is the reason why I started going here and why I kept going here. It was 19 to 20 years ago, and I came in and somebody was, I don't know, I can't remember who was talking to me. Somebody was talking to me and I said, yes, I came from the Methodist Church, and that I had done the adult youth group at my old church, at the Methodist Church. And they immediately left, and I said, well, that's so nice, but they ran straight to Sigrid, who was doing the youth ed, and she came over with a mob of people. Oh, we hear you like teenagers. We hear you do the teenage Sunday school, and we're so glad that you're here. And I said, well, I'm kind of looking for a church, and I've got little kids. And she goes, oh, we'll take care of your little kids if you'll do the teenagers. It was like my first day here, and we want you to teach, teenage Sunday school. But she meant it. She was very sincere about it. She called me like twice during the next week, talking me into it. Both of my children, I think any child that had her as a Sunday school teacher remembers her and loves her. Kinsey was 4, and she calls me up and she goes, Ted and I are going to this wonderful children's play in Spokane, and we want Kinsey to come. And I'm like, I'm busy that day. And Sigrid goes, well, is Kinsey busy that day? And I went, well, no. And she goes, we'll pick her up. Make sure she wears, something beautiful. And so they picked her up, and Ted was such a gentleman. He opened the door for little 4-year-old Kinsey. And she still remembers that. They had a whale of a good time. Went out for Sundays afterwards, and she always remembers that. She was just a very special woman. So I'd like to remember her and all the things she did for this church. It was wonderful. Okay. I'm sorry. Jim Shepard also died. Oh. It's been the last couple of years. Yeah. Join Barbara St. Dennis to learn how to use your heart coherence to bless yourself and others. Heart coherence is a bioelectric energy. Using heart coherence meditation allows you to synchronize your heart, your mind, and emotions. Achieving this state of awareness is associated with feelings of well-being, relaxation, and improved cognitive function. Moreover, the energy you create is so powerful that individuals in a heart-centered state can reduce the stress and discord of those around them. In this 2-hour talk, Barbara will discuss heart coherence and lead a meditation to help you achieve this loving state. That is going to be on February the 1st. Yes. February the 1st. Please sign up in the hallway. This is a very, very special class, and I hope that you take an advantage of it and do it. The staff, the trustees, and the ministry leaders are hosting an appreciation dinner next Friday for the many people who have served as Unity volunteers during the past year. If you have served in any capacity at Unity Center of Spiritual Growth, you are an invited guest and welcome to attend this free event. Please make plans to attend and let us know you are coming so we can plan appropriately. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you can, come.
And they're making lasagna.
I made the lasagna. I have pans. My freezer is full now of lasagna, so we are ready for you. Reverend Dennis Ashley is conducting a new member class on Sunday, January 29th after the service. This 1-hour class offers an introduction to Unity principles and history. The class is required for membership, but open to all, and it's a really interesting class. I mean, and it's not boring. It speeds along, and it's a very interesting class to take. As you know, we have new carpeting throughout the building. To keep it clean, we are instituting a no beverage policy in the carpeted areas. However, we will still be serving coffee after Sunday services in the Friendship Hall. As a reminder, our book sale is ending soon. We have raised $983, so we have only $17 to go. The books are in the lobby. You are invited to buy one or two or three. They're only $1 each, and the sale ends January 29th. And each of you were given a book today. If it's not the right book for you, that's fine. I know that you know someone that that's the right book for, so it'll work. We're going to take a few minutes now to meet and greet each other.
Just let me mention one thing.
Okay.
Billy and Alan Ogden are moving, and they're asking for some help in moving. Apparently, they hired 2 young guys to move all the heavy stuff. But they're asking for people to help move boxes, and so they need 4 or 5 people on January 31st at 4:30, and then they need another 4 or 5. That's to load up the van, and then they want another 4 or 5 people the next day, the next morning. So I'll just pass this around, and if you can help out, that would be great.
So it's not the big stuff. It's just like
It's
boxes.
just boxes.
Just
yeah.
lifting boxes.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty easy. Okay. Let's take a few minutes. Let's meet and greet one another. We're going to ring the gong. I'm going to ring that gong. When we'd like you to return to your seats, please say hi to your friends and meet somebody new. Thanks. fine. It's meant to go. Every Sunday, we have someone from the congregation read us a blessing before the meditation. Today we have Elisa Linder.
Hello, everybody. First time, so. Okay, daily inspiration. We have all heard it before that we are spiritual beings on a human journey. But today, let's take that understanding to a deeper level. Because we really get into that, we are spiritual beings. There is no problem too hard to handle. When we really grasp it, that the Spirit of God is our constant guide, all our difficulties fall away. Just open our minds to receive. Actually, all we have to do is ask. Well, let me be more specific. All we have to do is ask and mean it at the deepest levels. The words are easy, but meaning it, that's the journey of a lifetime, isn't it? And so it is. Namaste. I'm going to take somebody else's stuff.
So let's take a few minutes now in meditation. I invite you to close your eyes and put down anything that you might be holding, and let's just give ourselves the reason. Let's give ourselves the opportunity to just relax into meditation. So breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And as we breathe in this time, we relax into the will of God. we relax into surrendering. And it's time to give up the battle. It's time to go with that something deep inside of us that's always been there. That's something that says, this is the right way to be. This is the right choice to make. A choice of gentleness, a choice of love, a choice for the Spirit of God to lead us. So let's breathe even more deeply into that. What would that mean for us? What things would we give up, and what things would we choose to live with, to be with? We want so deeply for our hearts and our souls to be aligned, to be in rhythm, to be with the ebb and flow of the Spirit of God. And that whisper, that breath can lead us anytime we finally choose to let go. So let's move into the silence and let's let go. Just for a minute or two, let's see what that feels like to experience fully the Spirit of God that's deep within us in the silence. Spirit of God, you just move us. You inch us forward. You lead us exactly where we're supposed to be going. Just teach us to open our mind and our heart and our soul and our spirit to receive. And so it is, God. So it is. Namaste. Thank you. That was a nice song. I like that a lot. I wanted to talk today about opening our minds and our hearts and our souls and our spirits to receive. We don't have to live a life that's pinched or squeezed or dry. We don't have to be broke. We don't have to be poor. We don't have to live a life in anger or fear unless we choose to do that. I mean, that's really what I think that's what every church is about, saying that there is a better way. There is a Spirit of God willing to lead us, to be with us, and somehow we just teach ourselves to surrender to that. But man, that's tricky, isn't it? I mean, it's hard because we get fooled and we're not sure exactly what to do. We're not even sure exactly what that means to let go and let God. And yet that's what it's about. See, I think that the issue is that we are here to choose to live any way we want to. But it seems to work better when we line up things with the Spirit of God. We don't have to. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are very successful financially or very successful in other ways who haven't done a thing about the Spirit of God. But I choose to believe, I think they often get kind of torn up inside, even though the outer markers seem to be there. We do better when we align ourselves with the will of God. So, what does that mean? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I think what happens is that the thoughts we dwell on, they seem to manifest themselves. I mean, that's a basic unity principle, right? That the thoughts held in mind produced after their kind. And what that means is not that every thought that happens to flit across our brain is going to get manifested. Because if it did, our lives would be a mess, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, because we think of contradictory things all the time. So it's not that every thought that happens to flit across our brain is going to be there. My wife and I were watching a movie a couple nights ago, and I don't even remember which one it was now, but she goes, whatever it was, she said, I can't unlearn that. But what she was thinking about doesn't mean it had to manifest itself. It's just the ones that we dwell on. The ones that we think about consistently, those seem to manifest themselves. And so what leads us in the right direction? To know that all things are possible when we line up with the Spirit of God. All things are possible when we sort of open our minds and our hearts and our souls and our spirits to receive. And to receive what? Well, all sorts of things. It's not just about money. That's a piece of it. But whenever I use the terms abundance and prosperity, it's kind of like, money's a piece of it. But there's all sorts of abundance and prosperity. There's abundance in health. There's abundance in relationships. There's abundance in the kind of church that you go to. There's abundance in family relationships. And again, and money's a piece of it. I mean, that's important in this life too. Well, all things are possible when we open our minds to receive. So I thought, let's put that to the test two ways. And so here's the first way, and it really wasn't my idea. I think it was Jenny Taft's, I believe. But Jenny said, let's give a book to everybody that comes in this morning. And here's what I know for sure. Absolutely. There are no accidents in this world. There are no coincidences. Guess what? You got exactly the book you were supposed to get. And somebody this morning, I've forgotten who now, a woman, got a book that said, to my daughter. And she said, I don't have any kids. And then it took her all of about 1/10 of a second to say, so I guess I'll pretend this is from my mom to me. I mean, we're smart people, aren't we? You know, and so, by the way, is there anybody who needs a book? Anybody who didn't get one? Okay, well, I got mine, and so I immediately opened it up and looked at the table of contents, and the two things that struck me, all saints bring the same message, and the mind must be awakened. I love that. I thought that's cool. And so, and here was the situation. If you look at this and it seems to speak to you, or, as several of you pointed out, it might be that you're supposed to give it away to somebody else. So any of those things are possible. But we also wanted to make sure that we reached our goal for $1,000 on the book. I think we got $17 to go. So put $1 in the bank when you leave if you like the book. Here's what I want you to do. Take 30 seconds right now. Take a look at the table of contents in your book. I think that's a perfect message for you. Take a moment and finish it up, but this is your book, so you can put a little check mark by something that caught your attention. That would be good. So I think that'll be fun. Before church started this morning, the 10 or 15 minutes leading up to it, I noticed as people came in, they got their books and they were immediately, they were going through it. So I think that's cool. So that's your book. So that's one way that we're going to try and open our minds and our hearts to receive, is by this book that you've gotten. Here's the second way. This is something I'm going to start today and that we're going to do for the next 2 months. And this was actually Doug Huffman's idea. And I don't think of anything myself. Right? So starting today, right after church, for about 10 minutes, I want to lead a meditation. And in that meditation, what I want to do is to focus on, today, to focus on the sanctuary overflowing with people. Our sanctuary is growing and, just crowded with people. So that's one thing. And then next week, we'll do the same thing, and we'll focus on our love offerings overflowing. And so we're just going to focus in on that. 10 minutes. We'll just do that for the next couple of months. And here's what I choose to believe, and thank you, Doug. Here's what I choose to believe, that I think this stuff works. So, yeah. So we're going to put it to the test on attendance and on financial offerings. So all things are possible when we open our mind to the Spirit of God. I'm looking at my notes going, oh, I covered that. Oh, I covered that. So what's all that mean? How is it that we open our minds and our hearts to receive more and more? Well, I think the first thing is that we choose to see with eyes of faith. And isn't that the tough one? I mean, I've talked to so many of you. I've talked to myself, where I'm saying, oh, I wish I had faith. I wish I had it, but I just don't. And well, that's that, darn. And it's kind of like, no, that's not the way it works. Faith is a skill, just like any other skill. And so the very first time that you got on a bike, you were 5 years old or 6 years old, if you fell over, you don't go, well, I guess I'm just not cut out to ride bikes. No, we have faith that it'll come, that we'll learn. Do you remember the first time you got a car that had a stick shift and a clutch? Yeah. And do you remember how you used to go miles out of your way so that you didn't have to get stuck at the light on a hill. But guess what? You learned, right? You learned how to do it. And we operate on faith every day. I mean, every day we operate on a tremendous amount of faith. I mean, we have faith as we drive home today. Most of the drivers are pretty much going to stay on the right side of the road, and you are too. Nobody's going to suddenly go, oh, I think I need to be in the left-hand side. I mean, we use faith every day, right? And so this is just saying, let's build that skill in the area of faith. Let's see what it is that we want to see. Let's believe that it's coming, and we can do that. We can do that if we just keep practicing. You know, if one of the books that you have today talks about faith, cool. There's no accidents in the universe. But if your book doesn't happen to talk about that, then what you do is you look online and you find more information about how is it that we live with faith. How do we build faith? Because trust me, it's a skill. It's a skill that will guide our lives. So that's the first thing, that we learn to look with faith. And then the next thing that we do is we learn to see with gratitude before it arrives. And what's the it? Well, it's going to be different things for different people, right? You know, before that romantic relationship arrives, before that new job arrives, before that gift arrives, before those finances arrive, before the perfect church arrives, we learn to say thank you to the Spirit of God before we see it. Because what do we know? That gratitude always precedes manifestation. Gratitude comes first. And when we are grateful, that's when we start seeing things that we never noticed before. I mentioned this a couple months ago, but the James Webb Telescope, you know, where you got to see everything in infrared. And the reason that they used infrared was because it was a way that we hadn't seen space before. And so I got curious about what percentage of the light spectrum do we actually see? Because we have to have light to be able to see something. And I don't know if any of you remember, but it was, we only see 0.03% that's out there. That's what we see from the light spectrum. It's kind of like, there is so much going on in this world that we can't see. But we see that 3/1000s and we go, oh my God, I know it all. Yeah, there's so much stuff that we are not seeing. And so that's why faith and that's why gratitude becomes so essential. They lead us and they guide us and they show up in ways that we can't even believe. It doesn't even seem possible, and yet there it is. So what we want to do is just know that nothing is too good to be true. It's kind of like, oh, well, I'm sorry, Dennis, I'm a lot more practical and pragmatic than that. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Yeah. Living in a life connected with the Spirit of God, that's the most practical, that's the most pragmatic thing that we do. And so I'll just wrap this up by saying, not every emotion has to be expressed. Not every thought has to be talked about. But what we want to do is be more clear about those things that we dwell on, those things that won't leave our minds. What we want to do is understand that if we want to know what we think about it at the deepest of levels, look around in your life. That's what you believe in. And if you don't like it, then it's time to change your thinking. And if you do like it, how cool is that? You know, so just be with those thoughts. Look for the manifestation of those thoughts. If you don't like what you see, change it. If you do like what you see, embrace it. But what we are after is letting the Spirit of God just guide us and lead us and take us on this journey of unending love, of unending inspiration, of unending ways to be that match up with an open mind, an open heart, an open soul and spirit, just willing to receive. Thank you.
It's love offering time. If you can share some of your financial blessings with the church, it would be much appreciated, of course. Now, if this is your first time here, we don't ask you to give anything. Instead, just be our guests. If you're watching online, you can contribute by clicking on the Give button in the website streaming window, and your offering will be very secure. Now, we always have somebody from the congregation who reads our Sunday Prosperity Blessing, and today, that's Todd Neal.
Good morning. We've reached that time when we give our financial blessings to our church. At this moment, open your mind to receive, and then your soul can grow wings and lift itself into the heavens. That is the very stuff of which you are made. Soul and heart and wings and love. They work together with the guardian angel of your life, conspiring together so you can soar into the heavens. You are so strong and more beautiful than you know. That is the truth of who and what you are. Be thankful for this truth. And as you prepare your gifts and tithes and love offerings right now, we ask that you give from this holy place, this place that flies into the heavens. And so it is. Namaste.
So join me in giving a little prayer for these love offerings. Spirit of God, we do say thank you. We're blessed in so many different ways, and as a church, we open our minds and our hearts and our souls and our spirits to receive in so many different ways. The volunteers we have, the finances that come our way, but also just the great knowledge, the great thinkers, the great people of love in this congregation. And so we say thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. And I think we're going to welcome our kids in now.
Everywhere I go,
I saw the cup and I thought it was a skit. Amber, tell us what's happening today.
Lennon's going to take care of that.
All right.
So today we talked about the virtue of appreciation, and we learned about the meaning of the word, and we also made a thank you banner for the volunteers here at Unity, and we're going to hang it up in the, what room is that called? The room over there. Yes, the Friendship Hall, and
Okay.
that's what we did today.
Cool, thanks. Okay, so if you guys want to go back to your parents or grandparents, that'd be great. And I know I say this every Sunday, but parents or guardians, even though the kids are coming back to you now, we'd appreciate it if you still signed them out. Let me invite you to stand, but before you do, let me just remind you, right after the service, we're going to have that 10-minute meditation, and we're going to focus on growing the congregation. Okay, go ahead and stand. And now would you join me in the prayer for protection together? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Amen. Thanks for being here today, and we'll start that meditation in 10 minutes.
2, 3, 4.
Step by step, I'm gonna find my way. I know, I'm telling you,
Thank you, guys. Laura and Patty. Thank you, Jim.